Good morning, students. I hope you are all fine. Okay, since we have finished with um, the topics which I took, the single entry and incomplete records, and Dr. Sari took the accounts for non-profit making organizations, and Dr. Amando or Dr. Usu took analysis and interpretation of financial statements, and then Dr. Wilbeck also took for correction of errors. So that brings us to the end of the entire course outline. So we need to do some tutorials with you because since the TAs are unable to, because of the situation. So you recall that in our last lecture, we got to company accounts. We actually finished company accounts, just that we were unable to do some examples, even though we did some simple example on the issuance of shares. So I'm going to start from issues of shares. We look at some two questions, tutorial questions on shares. And then next week, we will look at company accounts. And then we take it from there until the 29th of May, which has been slated for the end of the semester. Okay, so let's look at these two questions. The first question is that it said Professional Mess Limited was incorporated with 150,000 10 cedis preference shares and 300,000 ordinary shares of no par value. The directors offered for public subscription all the preference shares and 200,000 of the ordinary shares at a price payable as follows: 10 cedis on application for ordinary shares and then 18 cedis on application for preference shares. On allotment, 12 cedis for both shares. That is, you pay 12 cedis for for ordinary shares and 12 cedis for preference shares. And then on the first and final call, we pay 13 cedis for the ordinary shares. So there is nothing paying for, you don't pay anything for the preference shares, which suggests that the preference shares you have to pay in two installments, that is on application and allotment. So you can see that the price per share is 35 cedis for ordinary shares and then 30 cedis for the preference shares. Now, applications were received for 400,000 ordinary shares and 180,000 preference shares on 10 February. Now, the ordinary shares were allotted on 20th February as follows. Applications for 120,000 ordinary shares were received no allotment and refunds were made. Now, the rest were allotted on the basis of 5 for every 7 applied for. And that is any excess payment on application being held against amount due on allotment. Now, on the same date, applications for 30,000 preference shares were rejected. All monies due on allotment were received on 24th March. Now, the calls were made on 1st June and all installments were received on 30th June, with the exception of Matiga, who failed to pay the amount due on 30,000 shares held by him. The shares were forfeited by the directors on 14th August and were reissued to Mativi on 30th August at 15 cedis per share. Expenses of the issue amounted to 15,000 cedis was paid on August 30. So that is the expenses that was incurred in the issuance of the shares. Now you are required to prepare ledger accounts recording all the transactions and then extract of the statement of financial position. Okay. Now normally, depending on the nature of the question, it will be more advisable to present, that is, you prepare some schedule. So let's look at the preference share schedule. So preference shares. Okay. So preference shares, right? Once you have the schedule, the entries will not be a problem. So preference shares. Okay. Take note that I will not be able to, present it as we are having physical contact lecture. Okay, so the first column will be the number of shares applied for. So the number of shares applied for. In fact, this will be very difficult to write, right? Natural fact. Okay, so you can write it down when you listen. So this column is the number of shares applied for. And then this column will be number of shares allotted. So number of shares allotted. And then here will be amount paid. So amount paid on application. And this one will be amount due on application. And then refund, what has been refunded to them. And then if there has any been shares that has been held against subsequent payment. So here will be held against allotment. And then amount due on allotment. And then first call and so on. So you can have that. Now, so with the preference shares, you realize that the number of shares that were offered for public subscription was 150,000 shares, right? But there was application for 180,000 shares. So the shares were oversubscribed. So there has been oversubscription of 30,000 shares. So number of shares allotted is 150. Now, this one is very simple. It's simple because we have not been categorized the applicants. There are no categories of applicants, right? But when you look at the money that will be paid on application, applicants are supposed to pay 18 cedis per share. And then if 180,000 cedis have been subscribed, so you multiply 18 cedis by 180,000, right? And that will give us 18 by 180,000. So that will give me 3,240,000. So this is the money that will be received on application. So 3 million. Writing is very difficult. Okay, so 3,240,000. For the preference shares, we'll come to the ordinary shares when we finish with this. So because of space, that's why I'm writing it. Oh, no. So 3,240,000. Okay, so okay. Okay, so because it has been oversubscribed, we are expecting the amount that was expected on application should have been 150,000 shares multiplied by 18 cedis per share. And that will give us 1,800,000. Is it 1,800,000? No. Let me see. 150,000 by 18. Oh, sorry. So that will have been 2,700,000. So 2,700,000. Okay. So So 2,700,000. So 30. Okay, so we were told that 30,000 preference shares were refunded. Okay, so this is what we're expecting. So 30,000 by 18 will give me 540,000. So 540,000 has been refunded to applicants. So 540,000. Okay. It means that nothing was held against allotment when you talk about the preference shares. So when we come to allotment, they were supposed to have paid 12 cedis per share. So 150,000 times 12 cedis will give me 1.8 million. That is the money that will be expected or will be due on allotment. So 1,800,000. And for the preference shares, it is only 2 installments, so there is nothing on call. Okay. Then we come to the ordinary shares. Ordinary shares. Okay, so we come to the ordinary shares. So ordinary. We also have the same table. So how many shares were applied for? That was 400,000. 400,000. 400,000. Okay. But the number of shares that were allotted, there will be 200,000, right? 200,000, because they can't allot more than what they have put out for subscription. So that will be 200,000. Okay. So the monies that were received on application will be 400,000 times 10 cedis each. So that will be 4 million. So these are the monies that have been received. So 4 million. 4 million. But the actual monies that are supposed to be paid on an application will be the 200,000 multiplied by the 10 cedis. So that will be 2 million cedis. So 2 million cedis. Okay. Now, 120,000 shares were refunded on application. So they were rejected. So it means that they have to be refunded. In actual fact, they're supposed to have refunded 200,000 shares or monies totaling 2 million cedis. But they rejected 120,000 shares. So the monies that were refunded would be 1.2 million cedis. So 1,200,000 cedis. What it means is that part of the excess funds have been held against allotment. Okay, so 1,200,000 cedis. So you can see that when you take the 1,200,000 cedis from the 2 million cedis, it will be left with 80,000. So 80,000 cedis, is it 800,000 or 80,000? That is the 80,000 shares. Yeah, it will be 800,000 cedis. So 800,000 cedis have been held against allotment. Okay, see. So this money will debit application account 800,000. So when we come to allotment, we look at what we are supposed to pay on allotment, but this money is there as an excess payment from application. So that will go to pay. If it is not up to them, we only enter for the difference. So we have calls and the others. You can continue. Okay, so let's look at the entries. Actually, I'm unable to write properly. So preference shares will do for, you have to pass the entries for application. That is when applicants apply the money they have paid. And then if there is any refund, you pass the entries. If there is any money that has been held against subsequent payment, you make those entries as well. Then you continue. So let's see. So on application for the preference shares, we're going to credit this account. Oh my goodness. Let me clean everything there. So we're going to credit this account by 240,000, 3,200,000 and is it 3,240,000? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm just erasing. So just have patience. Okay, so yeah. So with the preference shares, take note, this for preference shares. Oh, why my lines are okay? Let me choose the lines itself. So we have the T account. Note that this is for preference shares. We have the T account. So this is a ledger account, right? Not easy. Okay, so we will credit, we'll say that bank. So bank. Oh, so bank, yeah. 3 million. $240,000. And then we refunded 30,000 shares, totaling 540,000. So here, remember these application accounts. So AP account for preference shares. So we will open bank account. This is when you open bank account. And idea why it's not. Okay, so we open another ledger account for bank. For bank. So we'll debit bank. So we say that application 324,324,000 40,000. Okay. So we made refund. So we credit. So here we say that application 540,000. 540,000. So we credit bank 540,000. And then we debit application. So bank 540,000. So the actual money that must be transferred to stated capital will be, so I will write stated capital as SC. So that will be the 150,000 multiplied by 18 cedis, right? So 150,000 multiplied by 18 cedis. That will be the 270,000. So 2,700,000. So 2,700,000. So 3 zeros. So that we close the application account. So at the end of the day, that will be 324,000. Okay. Then this is the bank account. So let me just write on top bank account. So bank, we have that. On allotment, in the application account, applicants are supposed to pay 12 cedis on allotment. And we did not make any transfer from the application account to the allotment account. So we will realize the full payment there. So that will be 150,000. So you open another T account, in actual fact. You open another T account. So you say that this is for allotment. Allotment, right? Another T account. Okay, so that'll be so AL, right? AL allotment. So bank will be 1 million. So bank will be 1 million. It's 150,000 times 12 cedis. So 1,800,000. And then we debit bank. So this is preference shares allotment. So preference shares allotment. 1,800,000. 3 zeros. Okay. So you see that that will end for the, and then here we'll transfer this to stated capital. So SC will be 1,800,000 for the preferences. So we are done with the preferences. We come to ordinary shares. So that will be the closure of the allotment account. Preferences. Well, when you come to the ordinary shares, so let me open ordinary shares T account. That is the on application. On application, we receive monies for 400,000 shares. So we have to this application account. We have to credit this account by 4 million because with the ordinary shares we pay 10 cedis per share on application. So here will be bank, bank 4 million cedis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then we also debit bank. So here will be application for ordinary shares. Make sure you write the narration properly. So this one is application for ordinary shares. You can just write ordinary share application account. So 4 million. Okay. Then we refunded 120,000 shares on application. And the 120,000 times 10 will give you 1,200,000. So here bank will debit this the application account. So that will be 1,200,000. 200,000. This has been refunded to the applicants. 2 million, 1,200,000. Okay. Then what we need to send to stated capital will be the total number of shares that has been allotted multiplied by the price at the application stage. So that will be 2 million cedis because it's 200,000 at 10 cedis each. So 2 million cedis. So that will be 2 million cedis. Okay. Now you have been told that the rest were given to the applicants on 5 for every 7 shares held or applied for. And this is just pro rata. Are you okay? So you can see that the difference between this and this will be the 800,000. And this 800,000 money is being held against subsequent payment. So this will not be refunded to the applicants, but since they have monies to pay at the subsequent stages. So this one is, will debit this account as what? Allotment. So this is being transferred to allotment. So if at the allotment stage, what they are supposed to pay is less than this 800,000, then we'll credit allotment with what they are supposed to pay. The balance will also be transferred to the first call. See, so this will be transferred until it finishes. Okay. So let's look at the allotment stage. what will happen? So what it means is that applicants they have a credit balance of 800,000 being held by the company. Okay, so this is allotment for ordinary shares. So ALL. How much are they supposed to pay on allotment? That is 12 cedis per share. So when you multiply 12 by 200, you get 240 cedis. Right? You get 240. So, but they have, we'll just say that we'll pass this entry first, application. This is coming from application. It's a transfer from application. So APP stands for application. So 800,000. 800,000. And they are supposed to pay 240,000. So 240, that is 2,400,000 minus 800,000. Okay, so what will be paid in the bank will be 1,600,000. So bank, so BAK, I mean bank will be 1,600,000. So that what to be transferred to stated capital will be the 240,000 here. So stated capital is 240. That is 2,400,000. Sorry for that. 2,400,000. So that you close it. So when you come to bank, you see here is application for ordinary shares. Application for ordinary shares will be 1,600,000. Sorry, it should be the 200,000. The 200,000 multiplied by the 12 cedis. So they are supposed to pay. We realize. Okay, so let's continue. I think okay. So